He's always been one of those characters to me that can have like crazy eyes just randomly.
Yeah. Like Lynn right now. God dang it, Lynn. Stop it.
Welcome to the Nerdentials podcast, starring your hosts, Joe Tweedy, Matthew Johnson, Nick Thomas, and Lynn Dudgeon.
Welcome to Nerdentials, your weekly dose of the nerdy essentials covering film, TV, video games, and comic books. I am your host, Joe Tweeton, and co-hosting with me today is the Lynn Dudgeon and
Heyo.
the Nick Thomas.
Over there or down there.
A lot drier this week.
Good, not so watery works this week. After the legend himself was tributed, shameless plug, guys, go to our YouTube channel, Nerdentials, and go check out our last episode, the Stanley Tribute. We pay respects to the comic book legend himself,
It was beautiful.
as he has left this verdant earth at age 95.
And I just realized right now why I can't see. I forgot my glasses. Let's do this.
You don't need to see for this episode. I'll just guide you, all right? You're good. You good? I'll guide you. All right, boys. Well, let's kick things off with a little bit of the weekly dose. All right, guys. This week in the weekly dose, concerning things mattering in movies and film, and or both, because they're one and the same. Recent news surfaced. So apparently, one of the Russo brothers, co-director Joe Russo, has revealed the film is Marvel Studios' longest ever, though the length could change, they say, and that we are referring to Avengers 4 or Infinity War 2, the sequel to last summer's blockbuster memorial for the Avengers. So the interesting thing here is, let's see, I'm just going to quote a couple things here from the article. They're saying that Marvel's Heroes, the follow-up to Infinity War, defeating Thanos is not going to happen quickly. Recently in a Q&A, director Joe Russo said the Avengers 4 is the longest Marvel Cinematic Universe movie yet, at least as it currently stands, because they're just barely 50% through post-production. They're barely at the halfway mark for editing. And right now, this article was saying that they are sitting at about the 3-hour mark. And get this, guys, there are 3,000 VFX shots in this movie, whereas the previous one, I don't remember the exact number, but it was a few hundred less in the previous Infinity War. Now, just to give context, like a shot could be like, okay, like a 2-second zoom in. A 2-second zoom in is one shot, and then a pan over to another character is a shot, and then a 3-second pan away from the planet is a shot. So a shot could be a few seconds or, a whole minute. It's just whenever the camera cuts to a different spot, that's a shot. And they're saying that they've got 3,000 VFX shots to still edit, like CG edit, like put in the special effects and crap. 3,000 shots, and they're only halfway through editing, and as it stands right now, it's a 3-hour movie. So I guess the number one question, guys, is: are you cool or not cool with this potentially being 3 hours?
I think I'm cool with it.
if it is the adults going to the movie, I am totally cool with it. But if we are attempting to take children, a whole lot less cool.
They have a lot of stuff to go over, so if it takes them 3 hours to do it right, I would gladly have them do it right.
This is the thing I was going to point out. How long did you feel the previous movie ran? Like when you sat through it, did it feel like, wow, that was quick? I didn't have enough time with my heroes, or did it feel like it dragged on?
The last 5 minutes of the movie was the longest I had ever seen a movie where you see all your heroes disappear.
Okay, I get that, Nick. I'm asking about the movie as a whole, from beginning to end. Did it feel like a long movie to you?
No, it here's the thing though. Even if it is a long movie, if they gear it right and they pace it right, it doesn't feel like a long movie. Like that movie, it just hits you all at once, and highs and lows and ups and downs and laughs and cries and everything else. And then by the end of it, you're like, what the hell just happened? And then you realize, oh, there went 2.5 hours of my life. And
Lynn.
Spider-Man.
Same question, Lynn. Did Infinity War feel long to you?
There were a few moments that did seem to drag, but it was.
I'm not being critical or mean. I want to know what moments drag for you.
No, I know.
I'm just curious.
There were a few of the Wakanda scenes that did drag a little too long. Like they could have been a little shorter.
Well, those are to each his own, but overall, I don't want the nitpicks. I just, from the moment you sat down and you're like, okay, here we go. Can't wait to see what happens. And then the credits roll. Did it feel long or not?
You did ask what I felt dragged, but
I know that's because I was just curious, because I was surprised that you thought any of it dragged along. I guess the point I'm making, I'm trying to facilitate the point that most people thought it was.
As a whole, it was fine. It worked, well meshed.
Right. All I was saying is most people were surprised that it was actually 2 hours and 40 minutes long. 2 hours and 40 minutes long. Most people were surprised because overall, there might have been a scene here or a scene there, but when you have 30 plus AAA actors on screen and they're all sharing equal time, and the Russo brothers have chopped up the scenes to a point where it's like, blam, okay, we're with Tony and Banner, bam, okay, now we're with Star-Lord and Thor, and bam, now we're over here. I'm not saying it moved that fast, but what I'm saying is they had enough characters to work with, and 2 hours and 40 minutes kind of zipped by. So the reason I ask, did Infinity War feel long, is because if it didn't, that means it was well paced and the beats kept hitting to where you were never left bored. I mean, like you said, there may have been a moment here or there that you were like, okay, they could shorten this up a bit. But if the overall experience was quick and you enjoyed it while you were in it, then I think we have a pretty good hope that the Russo brothers are going to repeat the formula for part 2, especially when these movies were filmed back to back in the same year. Because they with contracts and actors coming and going, they needed to get all this done together, because this is technically, Infinity War was part 1 of a 2-part single story. So, like Nick said, my personal opinion, I think 3 hours is fine for 2 reasons. One, I want more of my time that I had with Infinity War, not the sadness at the end, but the experience of all the characters, the action, the humor, the comedy. I want more of that. And if to tell the right story and give it the proper finish that it needs is going to take 3 hours, At this point, I think the Russo brothers have proven themselves with the first film that I think I have strong confidence in this second one. It's probably going to be a little shorter than 3 hours, because they keep saying, hey, it could change. They're still editing. But if they need 3 hours, in my opinion, I say go ahead and take it. It'll be the best 3 hours of my cinematic life. And I understand that's a lot for kids, so I'm purely talking from my own personal desire, because I know it's rated lightly enough that a lot of people take their kids to these, and I know I would want my kids to see this eventually. So 3 hours does kind of push the limit, but if it's paced well enough, it'll be good enough for me. I don't know about kids, but it'll be good enough for me. So on that note, Lynn, if it's just for you, would you enjoy 3 hours of this?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Right.
For adults, it was fun. But
right.
When it comes to, like, if you want your kids to go see it, it's a little long. They'd probably lose interest at several points.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree with you, Lynn. When it comes to that, if this is like a thing you're taking your kids to, especially younger kids that aren't used to sitting at a major motion picture for a certain length of time,
just dose them first.
Say that again.
I said just dose them first. It was a joke.
I know what you meant. Well, either way, guys, we'll get to see what it's all about May 3rd as of right now. That is still the official release date, May 3rd, 2019. So a couple months after our first Captain Marvel, which will kind of give us a little bit of the lead up into that chapter. So looking forward to all of that. Anyway, that's all I had for that particular topic. Let's see. The only other thing I was going to kind of talk about, we haven't really talked about it as a show, and I know you have a little more background, Nick, which is kind of why I was holding off on I wanted kind of your additional side opinion on, because there's a lot of DC movie talk, and we've kind of just steered away from a lot of the DC movie stuff because it's constantly changing, coming and going. And I mean, the only for sure things we have right now are Aquaman, which comes out in a couple weeks, and Wonder Woman, which has now been pushed back to summertime. But me and Lynn talked about that and the reason they're doing that. They just want to feed off the success of the previous one that also came out during the summer. And right now, 2019 winter time, there's too many big titles coming out. Star Wars Episode 9, so it makes sense that they want to push Wonder Woman to a slightly more obscure month closer to summer, so it's not competing against such huge family-friendly heavy hitters. So we talked about that last week. But that's why we've kind of, other than those two movies, that's why we've steered away from a lot of the side stories, because for a while we were hearing about multiple Joker movies. We were hearing about the Gotham Sirens, which is supposed to be a female villain movie. That's currently either canned or on the back burner right now. No one's working on that at the moment. But I figured there's a few more things that are starting to come to light, and so we could maybe start talking about some of these DC movies that are actually getting pushed forward production-wise. Because, I gotta say, if Aquaman pulls it off, and if Shazam does a good job, I have more hope for these other titles that are kind of coming out to the surface. That being said, today the only side movie coming out of DC that I just kind of wanted to get a couple of your guys' opinions and thoughts on is a movie that's doing a little bit of an opposite spin of the Sirens, the Gotham City Sirens. This one's more focused on the good guy vigilantes of Gotham, titled The Birds of Prey. And currently, even though it's not canon to the comics, we know that Warner Brothers is bringing on Margot Robbie to reprise her role as Harley Quinn. Because, let's face it, regardless of how well Suicide Squad did, she's the sex symbol of DC right now, and she's a good selling point as far as she's been doing a lot more movies, more people recognize her. she's kind of that selling face when it comes to Warner Brothers looking for actors to kind of push their properties. And we've got a handful of slightly fresher actors playing some of the other characters like Huntress, and I'm going to lean a little bit on Nick for some of this knowledge because I'm not super versed in some of the extended DC lore. But what was recently cast as far as the villain, and I'm intrigued by this casting for the Black Mask is the villain for this particular film.
Roman Sionis.
Ewan McGregor, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I don't want to just condemn him to that one role from the prequels of Star Wars, but he's done a lot of other films, a lot of indie films. He was in the Big Fish, as far as one of my personal favorites. That's kind of more obscure as far as its style. I'm excited. I've never seen him play a super villainous role, and so I kind of want to see how he does in this. Nick, what are your thoughts as far as the current casting for this movie and or specifically Ewan McGregor?
I personally think he's going to do great. He's always been one of those characters to me that can have like crazy eyes just randomly.
Yeah. Like Lynn right now. God dang it, Lynn. Stop it.
And he's done some roles that would kind of prepared him for this. Trying to think of a few that would have done it.
That would make him on the more edgier side of dark, perhaps.
Well, yeah, Roman Sionis, Black Mask. He's a rich socialite just like Bruce. He comes from another rich family in Gotham, just like Bruce Wayne. His parents were actually like pretty much frenemies with the Waynes.
Ooh, frenemies.
Yeah. They were all jealous of each other. But no, it just their son was twisted, and where Bruce inherited his fortune from his parents after they died, and after he got to the age to get it, Roman Sionis murdered his parents for his fortune.
Oh. Well.
It's I think that's actually one of the better DC picks for a character that I've seen from them. Just the way he holds himself.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of the movie. I remember seeing a movie with him in it, and just like him freaking out about something. And when I heard about this being that role, it was perfect. I thought of that movie.
I looked him up not too long ago. Are you thinking of that psychological thriller where he's going kind of crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Was it Stay? Dr. Sam Foster. He was trying to help another patient known as Ryan Gosling. It focuses on the attempts of a psychiatrist to prevent one of his patients from committing suicide while trying to maintain his own grip on reality. And it had Naomi Watts and Ryan Gosling. That's the psycho thriller I'm thinking of, and it was called Stay. 2005 Stay.
It may have been.
But he kind of, Anyway, and then 2003 he did Big Fish. As far as like bigger roles, he also played in Moulin Rouge in 2001. Anyway, anything else you wanted to say about him?
Another one that kind of fits it was Trainspotting.
Yeah, I actually have not seen that one.
Yeah, no, that was basically a look into what a drug addiction can do to someone, and he got pretty dark in that.
Okay.
Probably one of his all-time best performances, actually, nice. Other than Obi. And Christopher Robin.
And recently in Christopher Robin. I still need to go check that out. That being said, aside from him, though, are you familiar with any of the other actresses that have currently been cast? Right now we have Margot Robbie's coming back as Harley Quinn. Then they recently cast Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress, Journey Smollett-Bell as Black Canary, and Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya. But a lot of people are most excited that Kathy Yan is directing the upcoming superhero film. She previously directed the indie film Dead Pigs, which won a World Cinema Special Jury Prize at Sundance. She's won some awards for some indie filming as far as her directorial stuff. Here's the thing, though. Okay, I'm gonna skip over to the director chat real quick about as far as who Kathy Yan is, because the reason I'm kind of excited that she's doing it and it's not some industry puppeteer who's just going to listen to, the bigwigs and take, okay, oh, we're going to make it like this and that. Okay. But she's also not well proven yet as far as like big pictures, but she's won awards for stuff she's done. She was quoted as saying this, and this intrigued me in this article here found on Collider.com. She said, "I could not put the script down. It had so much dark humor to it, which a lot of my work does, and there are themes of female empowerment which are so strong and relatable. So I went in with it, not with confidence, but at least a sense that I belonged in the room, that somehow magically in terms of timing and luck that this opportunity was open to me, and I was definitely going to make the best of it." Now, what she went ahead and did with the Warner Brothers studio is she didn't have confidence from a comic book background, like she's never done a superhero film before, but she related to the material that was written. The treatment of the script that she was given was dark, relatable, had female empowerment and stuff. So she came up with what a lot of industries people call a sizzle reel in their pitch, where they come up with basically just the tone and concept of what they want to give you. And she went in with confidence of that because the script spoke to her directly, and she's won awards for other stuff that she's done that's dark and personal. So that makes me excited because similarly, like James Wan, we're still waiting on seeing what he's done with Aquaman. But that guy's a horror, like he's a horror guru. Like he's spent most of his career working with horror, and he's never done a superhero film, but he knows what he likes and what speaks to him. And Warner Brothers, he walked away once, and Warner Brothers was like, okay, we need to start letting some of our directors do what they want to do because they've already proven themselves in their other mediums, and we're losing money by trying to force directors to do what we want them to do. So let's give James Wan the floor. So we're going to see how that turns out, and that's very promising. That's also why I'm excited to see what Kathy Yan gives us, because she went into it with just pure confidence of understanding the tone and feeling for this. Also, she recently came out and said, let's see, let me read this last little bit that she wrote. She also said, "I've never done any of these things, and I asked my agents for examples to get a better sense. I put together a pitch deck and also assembled a sizzle reel. But I would say it wasn't like a lot of other sizzle reels which reference other films that remotely feel like the film. I find those to be rather pointless. But I created my own version that thematically and tonally conveyed what you would feel in my movie." I love that. That just reaffirms what I was gushing over. I meant to quote that part first, but that just kind of confirms the things I was saying before about how she's going into it with just pure experience and personal connection with the concepts, even though she's not familiar with the comic book characters. Yan also confirmed that the film would carry an R rating, which would make it the first DC movie to receive a wide theatrical release with that rating. On an aside note, the director's cut of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice was rated R, and there was also an unrated version of Suicide Squad, but those were both home releases. The Birds of Prey, she's coming out and stating, like, Warner Brothers isn't controlling what she says, so she's telling the public this is going to be rated R. I think it's a fairly safe bet to assume it's going to be rated R. And so, what's your thoughts on her as a director and the idea that it could be rated R?
My thoughts on that is that they need to do something drastically different than what they've done in the past with DC movies, and this would definitely give them a chance to jump into that niche that certain films like Logan and Deadpool are filling in the comic book world, and that would allow them to jump on those those coattails and pull it forward and try to get in on some of that success. Because believe it or not, a lot of people that actually like those comics, the Birds of Prey, the Deadpool, stuff like they read those comics because they're gritty. They're a little bit more hard hitting. They're not watered down and cartoony.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like the idea of the rated R version of it. That might give her a little bit swing to give her movie a little bit more oomph that they couldn't get away with before. Like just imagine, just like think about it. How much more dark and sadistic Heath Ledger could have gotten with his character if that was a rated R movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm a little scared to think of where that could have gone.
But I'm just saying, it gives the actors, it gives the director, it gives everyone a little bit more leeway to actually.
Well, and here's the thing: it's not just violence and cursing, F-bombs. It's not just violence and F-bombs, but the one thing that a lot of directors like about the freedom of the rated R rating is just the ability to explore more adult themes and concepts. Because you don't have to get visually violent or verbally graphic to convey a more serious concept that's maybe not suited for kids, let alone teenagers.
I almost guarantee it, though. This will be violent. This will be bloody.
Oh,
this will be This will be very, very colorful language because they chose the villain to be Black Mask. He's a very irate, angry person, and he is off his rocker.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this will give Ewan McGregor freedom.
Sorry. He will lose his shit on the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I like the idea of that. I want to see that unfold.
And that's one of the few times that when he like in the comic books even there's been times that him and Batman are fighting, and then all of a sudden he just like goes over top and goes in like this berserker rage, and it even throws Batman off.
Do you have anything else you want to add to what you were saying?
I'm kind of I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead might be a good choice for Huntress. Because she's got some comic book background already.
Yeah, what has she been in?
She was in Sky High. She was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
She's been in a few others.
I was just looking her up. She was in 10 Cloverfield Lane. That was a really good movie with John Goodman. Mm-hmm. That 2012 indie hit Smashed. Live Free or Die Hard. She played Lucy McLean, his daughter.
John McClane's daughter.
John McClane's daughter. Yeah, that was almost like 2007. That was a little while back now.
A great line that she said to the other guy, the nerd dude. She's like, the outline where your balls should be? Grow a pair. It was great. I've used it before multiple times since then.
Yeah. This is weird. Just a quick side note. I don't think I'll keep this in. But on IMDb, I finally found like the title, the current running title for Birds of Prey. It says Birds of Prey, and in parentheses it says, "And the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn." And it's also in parentheses for 2020 release. It's weird. That's the current. Anyway, that's unimportant. Yeah, that's unimportant right now. That's kind of all I got right now as far as that goes. Hey, okay, so let's, guys, I know Nick mentioned off air he has a movie he wants to talk about. So let's hop out of the weekly dose and into this week in review. Nick, what have you watched this week? I might make a cut for that. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I am not one for Christmas movies at all. I hate Christmas movies. My extent of what I like for Christmas movies is Die Hard and Nightmare Before Christmas.
And that's debatable.
That is Christmas movie.
No. Nightmare Before Christmas is Die Hard or Live Free or Die Hard. That's debatable.
No, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I'm kidding.
There's a Christmas party in the movie.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I heard
there are two kinds of people in this world: people who think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and then there's wrong people.
I'm just saying. So, a lot of nerds will say it's only a Christmas movie if the movie's theme is about Christmas. Because one could argue that just because Christmas is in a small part of the movie doesn't necessarily make it a Christmas movie. Unless the focus is about Christmas.
Wait, Gremlins wasn't a Christmas movie?
One could argue that too. I don't know.
It was.
Don't worry about it. Move on. Okay.
All right, but like I was saying, I don't like watching Christmas movies. I have a standing rule in my house where we do not do any Christmas songs or Christmas movies till after Thanksgiving, till the turkey is eaten.
That's respectable. I agree.
So my wife, with her family over and all that, wanted to watch a Christmas movie after dinner was done. My rule and obligation was met.
The turkey was eaten, Nick.
Yes. So I went along with it. I was like, oh, crap. I'm going to sleep through this. I'm just going to lay down in your lap and sleep through this. And then it started, and about 10 minutes into it, I was setting up laughing with everyone else.
Oh, crap. Did Kurt Russell really rub off you on like that?
Oh, yes, Kurt Russell. And the movie we're talking about now is called Christmas Chronicles.
I guess we hadn't touched that yet. Sorry.
That is a Netflix original movie. One they've actually been advertising, apparently. I hadn't actually seen anything on it.
Yeah, just as a side note to cover the folks that have heard, I'm sure some of you have. This is one of the first Netflix movies, original content movies, that's actually been advertised regularly on the radio and on cable TV. Those out there that listen or watch to those things have probably heard the commercial for the Netflix original Christmas movie, Christmas Chronicles. Go on, Nick. But you hadn't heard about it.
I hadn't. I had seen it just because my wife wanted to watch it, and we had everyone over. But it was definitely an interesting view on it. The person they chose to play as Santa Claus, I was kind of iffy about when I first saw it, and I set up. That's the reason why I set up. I'm like, is that Kurt Russell? And I didn't think it was going to be good, but it grew on me, and he probably turned into being one of my favorite versions of Santa Claus that I've seen in cinematics.
Dang. You heard it here first, folks.
It also has Winston in it.
Winston?
From New Girl. He's the cop.
Oh, the actor. Yeah.
I haven't seen New Girl.
Sorry, Lynn. Once again.
I'm sorry.
Hold
What?
on, real quick. Just to help Nick out a little bit. He's known for New Girl, surprising. Barbershop. The Adam Sandler flick Wendy Mexler, and he's in the recent movie Game Night with what's his name from Ozark. We can cut all this out. It's
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. Kind of pointless at this point. All right, go on. Sorry, Lynn. I was trying to help you reference out, and that became a tangent.
You said Ozark, and I knew exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Arrested Development, anyone? He was in
It's
that.
another show I've been watching. Ozark's actually been awesome. Again, Christmas Chronicles. It kind of paints Santa out to be kind of a wisecracking, tough version of Santa Claus. He almost has like the attitude of like a biker. But there's definitely some jokes going on. There's some pretty interesting take on it. His moral compass is a little bit different than people would think. Being Santa Claus. And it just starts out with two siblings that had lost their father a few years back, arguing and blah blah blah. The one sister always has a camera and wants to set up. She was going over old videos and finds an old video where she thinks she sees someone reaching out from the fireplace with the glove and the red felt and all that to put something underneath the tree. So she could have swore that they caught Santa Claus putting something under the tree on camera. So they make up this ruse, set up like wires and stuff, traps to try to see if they can catch Santa on camera. Mm-hmm. Then they end up going through this whole process where they actually he trips the wires and all this stuff, and they chase him out and find him, and they end up crashing his sleigh. So then the whole movie is about them trying to help Santa find the sack of presents, fix the sleigh, find all the reindeer, and get things going. So they go through these whole adventures, stealing cars and jail time and
So how many similarities to Tim Allen's The Santa Claus would you say there are?
Not much, actually, to me.
Oh. It's got a familiar tone, though, even though the plot's different. Maybe?
Yeah.
I only asked because you said it's like 2018's The Santa Claus, or it's this generation's Santa Claus movie, and I wasn't sure what you meant by that.
No, I said it's a newer version of Santa Claus that was different to me. It's and I like it.
Okay, all right.
And their take on elves was very interesting.
Were you ever a fan of Tim Allen's The Santa Claus?
The first one, yes. Everything after that sucked.
You shut your mouth, you blasphemous whore.
I watched each and every one of them.
I'm kidding. I have too.
But
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
None of them.
The first one's worth it.
The first one. Yeah.
Nope. I know. I was just messing with you.
No.
Go on about Christmas Chronicles. Anything else? I just messed with you.
Well, like I said, the elves are definitely different.
Now, were they fantasy, alienistic, demonic, or ethereal? I don't know what.
Well, it's kind of funny that Lynn brought up Gremlins a little bit ago.
Oh boy. So were they more monster than childlike?
No. They were very they were cute, but
yeah. Okay. Cute and evil.
No, I wouldn't say they're evil. They were meant to be cute and helpful and stuff like this, but they were very vindictive and helpful. So you don't mess with them and you don't mess with Santa Claus, or they'll take your knees out with a chainsaw.
Oh, whoa! Did this movie ever get violent?
They're helpful to a fault.
And they look like little if you mixed cats with monkeys and gremlins.
Cats, monkeys, gremlins. Okay. I can kind of see what you're pulling from. We're just going to go with the comment. Sweet, dude. We'll leave it at that. Go with that.
But like I said, I'm one of those people that's more bah humbug to everyone about Christmas until Christmas.
Yeah, usually. But this one brought you out of the shell a little bit, maybe?
I liked it so much, me and my kids actually watched another Christmas movie that evening after my wife went to work.
Holy crap. You pushed yourself to the limit.
For a second Christmas movie on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh dear, dude.
It was weird. I felt dirty. I had to take a shower afterwards.
All right. Well, there's only a couple things I can think of that we could move on to. Did anything else? Was that kind of your wrap up on that one?
Yeah, it was good. It was worth watching.
You'd recommend it? Sorry, I cut you off there.
For Christmas people and for not Christmas people, for Kurt Russell people, I would definitely recommend this as a movie to watch.
If you're a Kurt Russell fan, Kurt Russell, wow.
Well, perfect. Actually, he channeled Captain Ron through Santa Claus.
Perlman?
No,
Ron who? Sorry.
You probably have you never seen Captain? Oh, it's an old movie with Kurt Russell and Martin Short. I know,
Come on, man.
I know.
No,
I'm
you can
sorry.
tear me apart. It's all good. Bust a nut. This is a nerd show.
They get stranded on an island. He was the captain of the ship. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Rough, gruff sailor. Not everyone's seen it. It's fine. I understand. It's all good.
It's all right.
But no, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, so recommended and with a little bit of promise. Guys, leave a comment down below with your recommendation of ratings we could use. Just kidding. We're still sticking with the 1 out of 10. But it would be cool if we came up with some funny, quirky labels for that 1 out of 10. So if any of you listeners or viewers out there have an idea, shoot us some ideas down in the comments down below. There is maybe 1 or 2 things I think we, if you guys feel like it. The movie trailers is kind of the only thing that was left. We could do just some quick commentary. It doesn't have to be long.
There's been some good movie trailers.
Yeah, so let's do a little bit of movie trailer chatting for a little bit to wrap up our show tonight. 3 particular ones we put in our notes tonight, guys, are and I'm gonna give you guys a chance to go watch them if you haven't. So we'll make brief comments or opinions on the following 3 trailers: the final trailer of Aquaman, the new trailer Lion King. That's the quote-unquote live-action adaptation that Disney's putting out. And the recent Detective Pikachu, our first live-action take at Pokémon. All right, guys, pause this episode, go watch those trailers, and then come back and join our conversation. We'll wait. Welcome back, guys. Glad you had a chance to go watch those trailers. I don't think any of them were that long. All right, first up, let's serve this up. First trailer to briefly just kind of give quick opinions and thoughts on. They've already had a couple trailers. We're a couple weeks away from the release of the movie. Aquaman, Jason Momoa, directed by James Wan. All right, go. We all checked out the final trailer so that we're not confused and talking over each other. I'm going to throw it over to Nick real quick because he looks like he's ready to divulge words. Go for it.
What do you mean?
You had your mouth agape. Anyone watching the YouTube video, you guys can find us at youtube.com/c/Nerdentials to see Nick's agaped mouth while he waits for us to ask for his opinion. And I'm opening up the floor for you. What did you think of the Aquaman trailer, sir?
It put it at a different place where I didn't think was going to be. So I
laughed. That sounds good or bad. I'm not sure.
I'm laughing because of Lynn's camera.
He's pointing at his mouth. His mouth is agape.
This follows. It looks like shortly after League of Justice League.
Yeah. Okay.
League of Legends.
Yeah, I heard.
Shush.
Sorry.
Shush.
Okay. Justice League. Shortly. Will you mention that movie? Are we even allowed to do that?
We are.
I don't.
Yeah. I actually watched it again today because we had we were talking about Aquaman before.
And you felt inspired to watch it to see how it landed with you again?
Some of the few parts I didn't fast forward through were the Aquaman scenes.
Right? I'll agree with that. We'll discuss it at another time. Right now we're talking about the Aquaman trailer.
Yeah,
the final one.
It looks like he's finally taking responsibility and trying to actually be part of his world. And they give it a different feel. It's almost like Indiana Jones and underwater.
Would you say this is almost it almost feels like Jason Momoa is showing a little bit of depth to his character. It's not just the drunken, yeah, let's do this. Oh, yeah. But there's a scene where he's talking to Mira, his AKA love interest in the movie, and he's kind of questioning. He's like, how great can a king be? Or what's greater than a king? And he's kind of in that moment, and then she comes out with the line, a hero. So what's greater than a king, he asks, and she responds during all the action of this trailer, she says, a hero. And what's cool about this whole trailer is it starts off with them showing him as a child being held by Naomi Watts, his mother, Queen Atlanta, and his father. And then you see a little bit of him growing up, and then you see him training, and you see him training with Willem Dafoe. This is kind of the first trailer where we really see the actor Willem Dafoe portraying his character. What character is he playing again, Nick?
Oh,
it's not. I know Owen. One of the Wilson brothers is playing Orem, his brother.
Oh, that's not Wilson.
Not Wilson brother. Sorry, what's his?
Orem is played by Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, a Wilson brother. I said a Wilson brother, didn't I? I wasn't saying Owen Wilson. I was saying one of the Wilson brothers.
Okay.
But anyway, Luke Wilson is playing his brother, which is kind of like challenging him for the throne.
Patrick Wilson.
Oh,
you said Luke.
You know what? I want to sound a little smarter this time around, so I'm going to cut all that bullshit out and cut right here. Yeah, Luke Wilson. Anyway, no, Patrick. Anyway, me, I'm drunk. Move on.
Last time he played in a comic book movie was Watchmen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He was the Owlman.
Yeah. That was in my opinion, a good adaptation of that story.
Whoa. You guys hear that guy making owl noises?
Yeah. Yeah, Lynn, I do. Willem Dafoe trained him as a teenager. He's playing
Nudis
what?
Volko. Nudis Volko. He was actually, I think he was his mother's advisor.
Oh, okay. Makes sense because she's the one narrating at this point. Naomi Watts is kind of talking about him and what he needs to become, I think, at this point. Or it might be Mira talking at this point. I don't remember. But
Willem Dafoe's the hand of the king.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, hey, let's... Nick, go ahead, Nick. Anything?
I was going to say they got a lot of really cool, a lot of big names in this. They got Dolph Lundgren in here as King Nereus. They got the Patrick Wilson. They got Willem Dafoe. Tamura Morrison. I think the last time we saw him in a comic book movie, he was Aben Sur. In Green Lantern. And he also played it.
Yeah. What? Yeah, what else did he play?
He was Jango Fett in the Star Wars.
Yes, this is why I'm familiar with him. I referenced that in a previous episode, possibly one that me and Lynn were hosting. Don't remember.
We see multiple villains in here. So Orem is going to be one of the villains in the trailer. We also see Black Manta, the big traditional suit, the helmet, the laser beam eyes.
The one that matters.
I don't know how Mara's going to do. We'll have to see that later. But and I wonder how they're going to do this, because the only time you actually saw them talking in Justice League when they're underwater, since most of this I assume is going to be underwater, because they're going to be in Atlantis and stuff. How are they going to talk? Are they going to do the bubble where they make a bubble around them and talk, or are they going to talk like fishes with? Blah, 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 blah?
Well, they've already shown in the movie trailers them talking underwater a couple times. If you look at all the trailers that have come out, there's no bubbles, and instead it's kind of a tunneled, echoey sound that comes out. So it sounds like it's in a cavern, like a muffled cavern sound, and there's no bubbles. Zero bubbles. They've shown it several times. And in Justice League, there were, in the scene when they were in Atlanta underwater, Jason Momoa said a couple lines underwater. There were no bubbles. But his hair was flowing in the water. But when he was talking, it's like, it's one of those suspend your disbelief things I think that they're going to end up doing. Lynn, I know you're trying to say something. Go for it.
Maybe it's telepathic.
Except that in every trailer, including the Justice League scene, their mouths are completely moving and open the whole time they're talking.
What I think is what he means is he's actually speaking, but it's assisted through telepathy, so that it's actually heard.
Possibly. I mean, I'm okay. Sorry, Lynn.
But he's sending it mentally.
Because that's how he talks to fish and whales.
No, you know what? And that's fine. I don't care what excuse you guys want to come up with. That would be a scientifically justified reason. Yes, I'm fine with just believing they talk underwater, and I don't care how it looks or sounds.
We can eat whales.
That's all I'm saying is, like, I'm one of those I'm one of those nerdy fans that I love the detail of certain things when they do pull it off accurately from a scientific perspective. I'm also okay with certain things being just completely fantastical, and you know what I mean? I'm okay with ignoring some things sometimes.
No, every scene they're going to use Dixie cups with a string.
They might. All right, real quick. Let's jump into the last two titles we mentioned already. If we don't get to them, I can always cut what I was announcing, you know what I mean? But these will be short, I think. Let's jump into... Okay, guys, what did you think of the... What are you doing? Oh. What do you guys think of the live action... quotes? I'm putting up quotation marks for all you listeners out there. What do you guys think of the live action, quote unquote, adaptation of The Lion King?
I
want to hear a snarky comment relating to how live action it really is.
It's all CG. It's
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
To me, what I mean? It actually just watching it, they copied scene for scene in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, the old trailer with the new trailer, it's scene for scene going forward. James Earl Jones still speaking in it. I wonder if they just took the vocals from the last one, the sound roll, and just put it on top of this new one.
Put that baby Simba belly.
let's say this though. So like we're all. It sounds like we're all in agreement. We saw what Nick saw. It's definitely all the key moments. Rafiki putting the paint over his forehead when he was born, them holding Simba up, just the stampede, all the classic scenes that we've seen from The Lion King are retold here. And the only difference is, and they use the same CG and mocap that they used in the Jungle Book. I think the only thing that's going to separate these two movies is that the Jungle Book actually pulled off something impressive. They put a real human kid actor into a world of CG animals, Whereas this is nothing but CG animals. So what part of this makes it live action? Other than simply live action just means that the CG animals are photorealistic to the real life animals, which is the only thing I think they can try to claim they have going for them. But there's no human actors in The Lion King.
I feel that this is about as live action as our next topic.
There you go. I actually, in the links for the Discord, there's the side-by-side comparison as they run through the whole thing.
Nice. We'll post a link on today's Movie Matters episode for others to check out. That being said, final thought or opinion. Does anyone care? Does anyone think they're eventually going to go see this?
I think I will, just because I have kids, and I don't think I can get away from it because my wife is a Disney fanatic, and Lion King was her favorite movie.
Damn you, Disney!
But it's just the fact that they're wanting to recreate all these as live action as possible, and I don't think this is one they should have touched. It makes no sense. They're almost going to taint the memory of the original, to me.
I don't think they might. I mean, I respect your opinion and thoughts that's probably that could happen. For me, I don't think they're gonna ruin it as much as it is to me. It's just gonna be pointless. It's just a pointless remake because there's nothing about it that you can make live action. Even if the CG was photorealistic, it still to me is just one of those unneeded remakes because I like what they've done with a few of the live action remakes where they've made it live action, like actual actors reinterpreting some of these classics.
Oh,
go
ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. Like some of them are decent, but to recreate something that's 100% animals talking. I mean, they did Babe, Pig in the City, like movies like that, but those are just animals with peanut butter in their mouth and voiceover work. You know what I mean? That's all that is. And
Beauty and the Beast was good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Freaking Jungle Book, like you said, was good. They're live.
Jungle Book was better than it should have been, surprisingly, in my opinion. And some people were mixed about Cinderella, but I saw that it wasn't. It didn't. I liked it.
I'm kind
overall.
of ecstatic about Aladdin. Whenever that happens,
I will agree with that because there's human actors in that.
And I want to see. I want to see Will Smith's rendition of Genie.
I'm gonna hold my breath because nothing can outdo Robin Williams, but I have mad respect for Will Smith, and when he's put in a comedic role, he can deliver. I hope he puts a unique spin on it that's his own, and it's not trying to replicate what Robin Williams did, because there's nothing gonna be able to replicate that for me. Agree, disagree? I mean, we're not talking about Aladdin right now, but I just wanted your counter thought or point. Nick, do you agree? Because you kind of are quiet on this.
I think it would be kind of a sweet homage to Robin Williams if he didn't try to play his Genie and kind of actually broke the fourth wall. Kind of like, hey, I'm not that Genie, but you know what?
I gotcha. You're kind of sort of hopeful for a little bit of the Deadpool flavor
a different Genie of a parallel universe.
That would be sweet. It's probably not going to happen, but I agree with you, Nick. I wouldn't mind if a quick little nod to Robin Williams was put in there somehow. And I feel like they'll probably find some way to do it because the man was iconic and legendary in his own way.
But we can all agree that this Lion King remake isn't necessarily necessary.
Yeah, I agree with you. I will still eventually see it myself for the same reasons because we have kids.
Lynn?
I feel like it's kind of a trying to make money off of something that they're just putting a modern spin on.
Yeah, I like the original.
Because if it's scene for scene, I mean, come on.
I think they'll add something, you know what I mean? But they'll add something.
Is it worth the ticket price to go see it?
It will be because your kids will demand it to be.
Well, that's why we have Cody. I mean,
whoa! Shh. I'm gonna have to censor that word.
They would rather go see Aladdin.
Hopefully, Lynn. Are we done with Lion King?
Let's be done with Lion King. Stick a fork in that pig. And
stick a fork in that pig.
Matata.
Stop beating the dead Lion King. He's been stampeded over.
Mufasa.
Let's wrap this shit up with... Guys, we mentioned it earlier. Hope you saw the trailer. Let's talk about Detective Pikachu. Our first ever live-action interpretation of a Pokemon film. And I guess there was a game a couple years ago released under the same name. Lynn is already shaking his head and wants no part of this conversation.
Yeah, there was a game, Detective Pikachu.
They claim on the Wikipedias that this movie is based off of said previous concept. So, and I guess the icing on the cupcake, or Pikachu pudding, if you will, is it's voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Prepare for trouble.
The other...
Make it trouble.
Oh man, let's say this. Let's put it this way. So basically, this guy is
what guy?
Okay, I need to act like I know what the hell I'm talking about. Hold on, Lynn.
Especially since it puts you on the spot.
I don't have these in my notes. Nick wanted to add these for conversation. I'm fine with that. But I also don't know jack shit about it.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay. Guys, here is the quick, brief synopsis for Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Here we go. In a world where people collect Pokemon to do battle, a boy comes across an intelligent talking Pikachu who seeks to be a detective. Now that is so vague and stupid. I don't know who wrote that. F*** you, IMDb.
But
let me read the longer one.
Let
me read the longer one.
No.
Go on, Lynn.
There's a catch. There's a catch to this. Only the boy can understand the Pikachu. No one else can.
Whoa! I just read the synopsis that gave away everything about the movie. How do you know this, Lynn?
From the trailer.
Oh.
Spoilers.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to have an open discussion. I don't have to be the know-it-all here. We're going to talk about what we saw.
Yes.
All right. Well, the story begins when ace detective Harry Goodman goes mysteriously missing, prompting his 21-year-old son, Tim, to find out what happened. Aiding in the investigation is Harry's former Pokemon partner, Detective Pikachu, a hilariously wisecracking, adorable super sleuth who is a puzzlement even to himself. Finding that they are uniquely equipped to communicate with one another, Tim and Pikachu join forces on a thrilling adventure to unravel the tangled mystery, chasing clues together through the neon-lit streets of Rhyme City, a sprawling modern metropolis where humans and Pokemon live side by side in a hyper-realistic live-action world. They encounter a diverse cast of Pokemon characters and uncover a shocking plot that could destroy this peaceful coexistence and threaten the whole Pokemon universe. Now, Lynn, you asked, who the f*** is Tim? Well, let me tell you, it is actor Justice Smith, also known for many films such as Paper Towns, The Get Down, that was a mini show running for barely 1 year, and Jurassic World, the first film, starring Chris Pratt and a whose name I don't know.
But let me stop you there. I'm gonna let you finish. Can we rewind to the beginning of that where it says that it's 21 years old?
Oh, you don't think he's 21 years old? He was born in 95.
No,
which makes him literally 21 years old in real life.
He's what?
Well, in the movie,
What?
he's actually trying to work on the horse,
Justice
so he has to
Smith.
be at least that age.
Justice Smith was born on August 9th, 1995 in Los Angeles, California as Justice Elio Smith. He is an actor known for Paper Towns 2015, The Get Down 2015, 16, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 2018. He's only done 3 things in his whole f***ing life, and he's exactly 21 years old. Don't worry, I'm going to either edit and keep it in or cut it all out. We'll see. But yeah, the kid's 21.
But is this not a kids movie then?
Well, it's starring Ryan Reynolds, so I'm gonna say probably not. Oh, it's got Pokemon, so somewhere in the gray area, somewhere in between. I'm gonna go somewhere in between. There's gonna be enough humor from Ryan Reynolds for the adults to not get bored, and enough Pokemon references to have all your prepubescent children gushing at the seams, asking for more toys marketed by insert company name here.
But at some point they will end up in a Pokemon strip club. Regardless of age.
I mean, it isn't a semi-modern futuristic city. There's a lot of neon lights.
Well,
It's partially Japanese. One could stipulate there might be a strip club in there, and if Ryan Reynolds is involved, maybe eventually they go there.
well, and it's setting at a PG-13 rating.
Oh, there you go. Nick pulled
There's
up PG-13
nudity.
rating.
There just won't be nudity.
PG-13 allows for 1 titty shot and 1 F-bomb. So my guess is Ryan Reynolds is going to throw the 1 F-bomb in there at least at the beginning. I really hope he does. I want to see Pikachu say
But
No, I have a feeling it'll be that one scene with Mr. Mime where he slaps up against
He
the
gets
invisible
frustrated.
wall.
He gets just frustrated enough that he says it. He says,
But you got to look at the trailer. They actually go through and they have so many Pokemon that they show throughout the whole movie.
oh yeah, let's get back to the nerding out on this, aside from the politics of what this movie might be. Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Bulbasaur, anyone? Come on. That cute little turtle
Uh-huh.
that's worthless. Come on.
Oh. Whoa.
Oops.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. I was purposely poking some sensitive notes. I'm kidding.
Squirtle is the turtle.
Oh, I don't know what. Sorry.
And Jigglypuff is allowed.
Can I just throw this out there? I don't know if this is going to be important or relevant to the show, and it may get cut out, but my wife, everyone around her loved and was obsessed with Pokemon, and she's 5 years younger than me. Like, there's a small gap where Pokemon was explosively addictive and dangerous for children, and some conservative schools even banned the playing of the card game, even when I was going to school. But Pokemon hit kind of its popular peak at a time when I was too old to give a f***. I think I was 15 when all the 10-year-olds were jizzing their shit off over it. I know, I'm taking this show to a really vulgarly adult place.
I think we left that PG-13 rating.
How wild that?
Well, can I just...
This is going to have so many bleeps. It's awesome.
Can I just remind you guys that I label this podcast as explicit?
Get another titty shot. Titty shot.
Thank you for joining us today in Drunken Rage.
No one's raging. We're just drunk.
I'm joking.
I am. I don't know about it. I'm not. I will speak for myself. I don't. No one else is. I don't know if they
what
are.
you're talking about.
Anyway, you got the bottle. Anyway, all right. Let's conclude. Okay. Anything else? I don't know where we were going. I just made comments about children jizzing over Pikachu. I don't know where we were. Sorry, I apologize. That was extremely inappropriate.
Now, one thing I'm going to want them to have in this movie, and I hope they do, and I'll be very ecstatic if they do, because they didn't fulfill my wish by making Danny DeVito the voice of Pikachu. They should still use Danny DeVito's voice.
Oh,
he should be the voice
yeah.
of the leader of the Squirtle Squad. Think about it.
He's gotta have the glasses too.
Squirtle Squad.
Squirtle.
There could be a lot of decent voice actors in this. 'Cause just think about how many different types of Pokemon they could play off of. I think Danny DeVito has to be one for sure.
And
Joe Pesci.
Vin Diesel has to reprise his role as Shidowido.
Oh man, oh baby, oh baby.
Because he is Groot.
He is.
Or what about some Joe Pesci in there somewhere?
Yeah. I could get down on some Joe Pesci.
Well, guys, we're probably just floating over the 1 hour mark if I cut out some things that shouldn't be in here. Don't worry. Don't worry. The Pokemon chatter I'll keep in. I'll just bleep certain words.
Like a 5-minute tirade of bleep, 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 bleep.
No, there will be some fun ones. I'm not gonna lie. I think there's gonna be some funny ones that are gonna get bleeped. And I generated some of those. So
that's all right. We're okay with it.
All right.
But we have some strong feelings about our trailers. Don't worry. It's all good.
Yeah. Strong feelings. Well, guys, that was the trailer chatter. We, just to recap, we give you guys the weekly dose, a little bit of news for the week. We reviewed a film in question, the Christmas Chronicles on Netflix, and we wrapped up with a couple trailers and our opinions on those. So if you guys have made it to the end, you are worthy of what? I'm not sure yet, but we're going to call you worthy. And we appreciate your time. And guys, join us in the conversation. Leave a comment below on your opinions of these trailers. Are you going to go see any of these movies? Are you going to go click play on that Kurt Russell Christmas film? Do you give a shit about Birds of Prey coming from Warner Brothers? let us know. If you guys would like to have a lively, actual conversation over chat, hit that link below on this video, leading you guys to the Nerdentials Discord. Discord, guys. It's kind of like Facebook Messenger, but it's way cooler, way more personal, and a lot more activity happens on it. So click that link down below.
And it doesn't have the political drama.
No, I monitor the shit out of that. If you guys are going to be assholes, I'll kick you out. But still, give it a try. I invite you guys to join us. This is a late hour. I apologize for the sassy attitude I'm displaying right now. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying some of this. But for all, I'm glad you're enjoying this, guys. Lynn, I know you're kind of here for the ride. I hope you're enjoying it still.
No, I haven't stopped enjoying it at all.
I'm just messing with you, bro. I just wanted to get you to say a few words before we close out. Get rid of those eyes, Lynn. Freaks me out every time you do that. Guys, if you're wondering what I'm talking about whenever I freak out at Lynn, and you're only listening to the audio podcast, also found on Apple iTunes and Google Play. Guys, go check out our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. But most, all these things are in one place. Go to nerdentialsmedia.com. Anyone? No? Oh, where's my .com guy? There it is. Nerdentialsmedia.com. You can find all of our crap there, including our Discord link at the top of the page. So, if nothing else clicks with you guys, click that first link down below and follow us. Join the nerdy conversation. And guys, we're uploading more than ever. Our current show is weekly, and we're starting to put in some gameplay videos, trailer reaction videos. We're firing on multiple cylinders. Please join the fun.
Oh, I thought you were getting ready to say you were firing somebody.
Not yet, Lynn. Not yet.
Darn
Wait,
it.
how do we get fired?
I'm not out of the woods.
Who gets paid?
You'll find out later. You'll find out later, Nick.
Joke's on you. You're the one that's been fired already, and you just don't know it yet, because you're the only one not getting paid.
Damn.
Well, nerds, for me, Nick, and Lynn,
And Matt,
this is
not here.
And Matt will be here next week. This has been your Nerdy Essentials, and as always, nerds, we'll see you on the other side. Guys, do you think you would follow suit better if I said, we'll see you on the other side? Would that be easier for you guys to track with?
No, I think at this point, 47 episodes in, it's kind of a staple of us never saying it on time.